Hey there, this is Chalks. Just wanted to make a small little video as to what my OCD is like. So, essentially, I'm not really good at this, talking to a camera. I don't do this for the most part, but I might as well here. I have very weird manifestations of OCD. It's not like the typical clean up everything, have everything in order. I mean, I can show right now. Everything here is in order. It's not too bad. It's okay. It's a little den. Just mainly laptops, messing with laptops and whatnot. Focus. Come on, focus. Is this autofocus? Yeah. Yeah, just a DS, ThinkPad, some Dell Latitudes. Not that bad. Most of those are just bags full of laptops there. Adobe. It's back here. I don't have the traditional manifestation of OCD. I have mainly, they are abstract manifestations. So one of them is called scrupulosity. It's a big one I have. Will have, I'm not sure, depending on something I'll say later, but scrupulosity OCD is basically morality OCD. It's OCD on whether or not you've been good, you've been bad, whether or not you've done something that could potentially offend someone. And it's just imagine like that anxiety constantly high unless you get reassurance. And that's another component of OCD. It's reassurance. A good part of my OCD, at least, is consistently asking for reassurance. And the funny thing is, when you get that reassurance, which you most likely will, at least at first, you end up getting a relief, sometimes a substantial relief, mainly a relief, and then it comes back stronger. So it's kind of an endless cycle. It's a cycle of reassurance, and it becomes very annoying and taxing, tiring on the other party that you're talking with, you're communicating with, and it can cause a lot of stress, both for you and the party that you're seeking reassurance from. It becomes almost comical, and even though it might seem very obvious to the other person, it's not to the OCD. The person with OCD, that specific kind of OCD. I'm not sure too much of how OCD is like for people that don't have these like abstract manifestations of OCD. What I mean by that, I mean abstract. They're not real world tangible objects you're ordering. They're ideas and thoughts that you have. And that's one order of OCD I have. And another one here, I'll actually go into a little tangent here. There's a reason why OCD isn't as talked about compared to like most other mental illnesses, especially now, because it's like we're more open to talk about it. Liberal ideas have kind of made their way to the mainstream, and honestly, I think that's a perfect thing. At the same time, this is not even like a con. This is just an explanation of what it is. OCD is not financially viable to talk about in the mainstream level. And what do I mean by that? It's not family friendly. Like depression, yeah, it kind of is. It definitely wasn't before, but it is now. Because it can be like construed as like very deep sadness, which is obviously it's not. It's much more. I can tell you more about that on another video, but maybe I won't make that video. Maybe it's not good to focus on these conditions too much. These conditions, specifically OCD. OCD is not family friendly, and what do I mean by that? I have another type of OCD. This is what I'm getting into. The segue is Harm OCD. Harm OCD is a very, very tiring, just like the scrupulosity OCD. Harm OCD seeks reassurance. Yeah, actually, no, it doesn't. No, that one doesn't. Not as yeah, it does a little bit. It's mainly, and what is harm OCD? It's OCD. There's another element to OCD here, and this goes back in line with what I was saying about financial viability for mainstream talking of this. Intrusive thoughts. Now you might think of intrusive thoughts as like the occasional thought that comes in, maybe kick someone off a bridge? I don't know. I don't know what it's like for people to have regular intrusive thoughts, if that's even a thing. I think it is, but I know mine is definitely OCD, because that's what the doctors tell me. And I go to a specific therapy for OCD. But either way, the harm OCD is intrusive thoughts. It's intrusive thoughts of hurting other people. It's and that's a very advertiser-friendly way of saying it. The reality is, like with many things in life, there are no hard limits. The brain doesn't have hard limits. Most of the times, most people I think might have hard limits, but the brain is not immune from hard limits. And especially with intrusive thoughts, with OCD, they are strong, they get violent, they get very extreme. Just think in mind, like, I don't know, I don't know what to say without getting... It doesn't matter if this gets demonetized. This video isn't even going to get monetized. It ruins experiences for most people when you're talking with people in real life. It's like, imagine you're talking to your... There's also sexual OCD. It's part of harm OCD. It all mixes into like some sort of weird mess that then turns into a core morbid situation with another disease, or like illness, whatever it's called, a health condition, mental health condition. So it can be stabbing someone, cutting someone's neck. I don't know. It could be sexually doing things to someone. Like it has no limits. I see videos when I see videos online about OCD, about like what it's like to have these intrusive thoughts. They're just kind of vaguely go over the topic, and I understand why. It's because you can't just say certain sentences as an establishment or as an organization, as well as on YouTube. It's just not. There's no real way to say it in a formal way. So yeah, it's those terrible, horrible things. And especially in like local news segments, they always, oh yeah, just some intrusive thoughts. No, they're all the time, and they especially get bad when around people. Probably explains a lot of my isolation to a certain extent. But that is another part. Harm and sexual OCD. I don't know if SOCD. I know POCD has its name. So it's that, again, with anybody, any type of person. Yeah. So those are the more severe manifestations. They're more ideas than actual actions. And the only actions really, again, same thing, reassurance, whether or not I've been a bad person, whether or not I've made someone uncomfortable. It's a pain, but who knows? Who cares? I care. But it gets better. And I don't just mean that in a, oh, I hope you get better soon. It literally does, especially if you get the right treatment. I like listening to music and then resetting it to the end, to the beginning, not the end, the beginning. So what I'm taking right now, I'm on like a fuck ton of meds right now. Well, not a fuck ton, but a ton of meds. There's 200 milligrams of Zoloft, 5 milligrams of olanzapine, 500 of metformin, which is for the side effects of olanzapine. And then lithium. It's lithium. I'm on, I think, 400 something milligrams of lithium. The lithium is to help with depression. Where did that come from? The OCD. It's comorbid with the OCD. I didn't get that from a fucking Tumblr post. I got that from the fucking mental health provider I go to. So trust me, maybe I'm trying to reassure myself in some way right now, and I'm definitely trying to do that right now in this part of the video, so please do not reassure me in any way, shape, or form in this video. It's what my OCD wants, not what I want. Another side effect of these meds, because the OCD forces the depression. Brain fog. It's very strong. I used to be able to yap a lot more, but now I'm like pausing a lot, which is just a normal side effect of these meds. And honestly, it's a price I have to pay for these meds. Like, it's not a perfect world. You have to make some compromises, and the reason why I've constantly been showing my head at this angle and not showing my hair, another side effect. Look at that. Barely any hair. Kind of going bald. I like to think that if I ever get off the meds that I'll get better hair again. I think it will, but in the meantime I'm just going to have to look like this. And then another thing, on top of the meds, I've been on like a bajillion other meds for OCD, and it used to work even more, but then it slowly became more and more prominent, or it always was there. It just kept creeping up all of the time, and I just did not like comprehend that it was OCD, because OCD is so ingrained in the way I act and behave. Like, to a certain degree, I'm actually like a reassurance machine. I probably seek for reassurance more than the average person over tons and tons and tons of things, and unless I get that reassurance, I just got that itch, that Wheatley style itch from Portal 2, it never goes away. But there is hope. I'm taking, I'm not really taking anything. I'm going through a procedure called TMS, and I'm getting deep brain stimulation. Deep stimulation brain. It's basically, they put a helmet on you. So you go to the clinic every day for 6 weeks. They put a helmet on you, and they make you provoke some of that OCD with some sort of like provocations, and it raises your SUDS level, which is subjective units of distress, and then they start the procedure, which it's essentially a helmet that sends electromagnetic fields to targeted parts of your brain and stimulates them using that. It's like a wireless stimulation treatment for the brain, and my understanding, neuroplasticity is what they're achieving, so basically new reconnections of wires in the brain. So that's mainly what that is about. It's just deep brain stimulation, but wirelessly. And you go there every day of the week for 6 weeks. I'm doing it specifically for OCD, and it's my suspicion that OCD is causing the depression, and they've come to the people there have come to the exact same agreement. Is it not? I may never know, and that's just another mechanism of the reassurance machine. But that considering the treatment, I am actually hopeful, and I'm not really a big fan of. I don't know how to feel about this, actually. And what do I mean by that? I said that out of the blue. I saw a post on Twitter. Oh boy. A post on Twitter the other day. And it was actually something that was meaningful. It was an image of Pim from Smiling Friends showing with the statement, "Your addiction to misery is not funny or endearing and genuinely makes me not want to hang out with you, by the way." This is what it looks. It looks like this silly little drawing. And I fuck with that so hard. That statement. Because I see most of the time when I'm on like social media online, especially people who are into Sewer Slut a lot, it's just like endless misery. And I really can't discern whether or not it's like user induced, like I'm going to give up because it's the easiest thing to do, or I'm going to give up because I literally can't do anything else and I'm going to make this my lifestyle because I don't know how else to express how I feel. That's again black or white thinking. It's probably a spectrum, and that spectrum, where you lay on that spectrum, probably changes as time and treatments go on for people. Yeah. So I've been thinking about that a lot, and I like to think, fucking hell, I like to think that I'm not doing that, but that's also the reassurance machine speaking again. Don't comment whether or not I am or am not going to do that. Don't do that. I don't want that. Please don't do reassurance. That's what my OCD wants. It'll feel nice for a little bit. It'll feel nice for a little bit, but then it'll just come back stronger. That's just the cold truth of OCD. It's quite strong. It's very hidden. Its effects are very hidden. You can't see it. What you see with a person with, it's mainly inside of the brain. So is depression, actually, now that I think about it. What I'm saying is you don't see people walking outside and you can know, oh, they have this. That goes for a lot of actual... Scratch that. Either way, it's a thing. I have it. It's weird. I think I've always had it. But yeah, that's OCD. That's mainly what it is, what it does, to me at least. I can show like a more lighthearted form of what that looks like on my end. This is another manifestation of OCD, and to a certain extent it's actually quite stressful to achieve. So let me just zoom out. So this is my computer, and what I'd like to do, if I haven't made it obvious, I like to record a lot of TV broadcast stuff. And what I'd like to do is I like to record TV from every stage of production. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. It's like every level of distribution, I like to record a TV event. So these are all the same thing. These are all the Super Bowl, the list this year's Super Bowl. A multitude, except that one. That's just memory hole. This is the Super Bowl C-band feed. So from a satellite, it's from on site. There is a satellite truck uplinking the raw feed. This is that. I got it as part of a request from Troll HD, who has a huge FTP server full of backhauls and whatnot. And this is what this is. It's a satellite backhaul. It's in parts, but nothing is missing. It's like 3 parts, but 2 are the same. Everything's there. Every part of the feed is there. Pre-game, pre-coverage, and then a little bit before that. This is the network feed from KU band. This is from the NBC network feed. So this is separate from the raw feed for the game. So it contains commercials, but it doesn't contain local commercials. This one's 22 hours long because it doesn't feel right unless I have a full day recording for some fucking reason. This is the raw over the air signal TV broadcast, MPEG-2, again 22 hours long, an entire day long. Let me just click on these, see the timestamp. So that's the network one, and then the TV one again is 21 hours. Come on, focus. And then this one specifically is actually the live stream from the Peacock live stream. Peacock is a streaming service owned by NBC Universal, and this one's on par more with the satellite feed because it's a direct re-encoding from the feed and not sent out on a network feed, or the network feed I recorded. I think it went to like the 4K one. Who knows? I don't know what the distribution for Peacock Insight internally is completely. This is the world feed. This was recorded from HBO and had to ask HBO themselves, just like with Troll HD for this feed. This is from AsiaSat. It's got a bit rate of a gazillion megabits per second. I can show what the Super Bowl one has. This one's even better. It's H.265 HDR. Focus. This is a 40 megabit per second progressive 60. It's 1080p though. None of these are in 4K, by the way. The Super Bowl this year wasn't done in 4K. It hasn't been in forever. And then this is the Channel 5 of UK's broadcast of the world feed. The main difference is the logo at the corner, and then the coverage from their tiny tent in some areas outside, like at restaurants. Yeah, just pre-coverage. And then finally, the Spanish broadcast domestically in the US, Telemundo. This recording's fucked because anytime there's fast movement, there is a bunch of pixelization. Why that happens is because the cable provider I got this from has a shitty encoder on a specific channel. I'm trying to show an example of that. There it is. There's an example of it. You see that? Yeah, it's a mess. But, alas, that's one of my other manifestations of OCD. Just these, making all these recordings and then ordering them putting them into order, organizing them. Okay, see, I do have putting things into order OCD as well. It's just not with physical objects, it's with digital files. So this is the front hall. I'm going to go to Super Bowl and you can see they're all here. It's a bit ridiculous. And this is this folder, let's see how big it is. $153 gigabytes. Holy moly. Yep. That's what OC does. I don't also like it, but maybe it could be both in tandem. That's about it. That's my silly little video. I would make something more complex, but I can't stand working on anything more than like a day or two max. So maybe I'll do more. Who knows? I'm only making these vids just so people can listen and hopefully not fucking only. It would be nice to stop attracting people who don't really understand what I make. Basically the same people that ask for commercials. Like, do you have VHS commercial of the Piglings from 1988 on Channel 7 in Australia. Like, bro. I am not in your VHS community. I'm not in your doohickey. Please stop coming to my channel. God, I am not a logo kid, for the love of God. I don't necessarily keep attracting logo kids. God. I just attract weird people, and I get tired of it. I know I'm weird myself, but I'm talking like really, really out of there weird. Like furry diaper inflation. What if I don't want to meet people like that? What if I don't like that? You have. This is turning into a rant. I'm gonna stop here. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.